As you could probably guess by the title of this video, this will clearly be about the Dell Latitude CPX model. Except for the slight sleep-wake bug, which seems to be a problem with the operating system installation, as opposed to the physical hardware. This is an all-around solid laptop. Produced sometime around 97 or 1998, whilst it does have a copyright of 2000 on the BIOS. The CMOS battery is dead, hence the date being August 17th, 2000, and the BIOS version is A07. It's a Dell Latitude CPX H500 GT. It currently has two 256 megabyte. It currently has two 128 megabyte modules, totaling 256 megabytes of RAM, 256 kilobytes of Level 2 cache, as a Pentium 3 500 megahertz. The video controller is an ATI Rage Mobility 8 megabyte. The audio controller is an ESS Maestro 2E. The primary hard drive is a 12 gigabyte Hitachi, I believe. There are no diskette drives installed, though if one so chose to, they could either remove the optical drive by sliding this switch over and pulling the drive out. Doing it one-handed is quite difficult. Or you can remove the battery like so. Once the battery and optical, or both, have been removed, you will be left with an empty bay. Inside the empty bay, you will see connectors for power and data. As we'll go and turn on the light, you'll be able to see much clearer. Inside you'll see the data connector that feeds the data to the either 3 1/4 floppy diskette drive, optional, or the DVD-ROM, CD-ROM 8x optical drive. Over here we see the proprietary power cable, some sort of ventilation port of some sort, or proprietary cable routing that was never used. Over here we see just the power, because you can insert a battery here. Both bays can have a battery inserted, but only one can have the optical or floppy drive inserted into it and have it work. Inserting the optical drive into the secondary battery bay will result in less than stellar performance, considering it will not go in at all. You will be forced to install it in the designated expansion slot hole, locking it in place. Installing the now dead battery in the secondary place. Pressing the test light does nothing, and it does not charge. Whilst it says it's charging, it shows a fault with the battery. Coming around to the side, you can see that it is fitted with S-Video, audio in, headphone out, and mic out. One side speaker, we have the ventilation for the CPU cooler fan. We have yet again another speaker. The drive access for the hard drive, you simply press down and slide this out of the way and pull the hard drive out. Doing so will make it so you can access the internal hard drive. Whilst it isn't technically hot swappable, it's field serviceable, meaning if you have the proper tools, you will not have to break down your laptop into its core components or somehow find some way to pull a panel off. You'll only need to slide the small bay door downward and then pull forward to remove the hard drive. After the hard drive has been removed, and you turn the optional camera light off because it was way too dark to see inside, you will then see that it is not a Hitachi, but it's an IBM TravelStar. Why they put an IBM drive in Dell beats me. It's dated January 2000, so either it was a replacement hard drive, or this was produced at the end of the CPX line's life expectancy. It has some residue from the battery that previously exploded, leaving the crystallized whatnot all over the hard drive. I'll clean that up. It may need some isopropyl alcohol to clean that off. Then we'll take the hard drive, reinsert it into the computer, like so. This will be a semi-one-handed operation. Grabbing the hard drive, slipping it in, making sure that it pops into place, and then all the way, and sliding the cover back. After the hard drive, you will see that there are some PCMCIA expansion cards installed. One is a gold card multifunction PC card that serves the optional either iOmega SCSI drive or the optional external floppy diskette. Neither were included. The second card, which is installed in the system, is a DVD MPEG 2 decoder card, DVD to go, sold and branded by Dell. In theory, it enables you to watch DVDs on this laptop. In practice, I have yet to find a DVD that is old enough, that is supported and is able to be decoded by the computer. Maybe one day I'll find a DVD, but 90% of the DVDs I've tried either produce just audio, because MPEG 2 is also used for decoding audio, or do absolutely nothing. They are detected by the system, but for some reason are not able to be properly decoded. Like with full screens of this era, it has some light marring on it. Not entirely sure if the camera will be able to pick up on that. Using the light should help with that. But as the keys are pressed into the screen, you will notice, and there it is, that there is some sort of scratching in the pattern of the keys. This cannot be removed, nor is it detrimental to the screen, other than the fact that it's a little bit scratchy. A perfectly operating screen will soon have that issue exhibited because the way the keys and the lid closes. We'll go and turn on the computer, and I'll go over, as the computer boots up, some other features on this. If you come around to the back, you'll see that it has the CPU coolant fan, one of two that are present. One is internal and one is external. Over here we have the VGA 15 pin. It's a D15 connector, I believe, as opposed to the D9 connector. Pardon me, I was just counting the pins. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yep, D15. Then here we have the printer port, and here's the optional expansion port, which connects to the docking station, which actually, it does not connect to the docking station. It's only usable through the docking station. Here we have a USB 1.0 and our either optional mouse and or keyboard PS2 port. Here we have our serial connector and our singular infrared blaster over here. We have our power connector here, and if we flip this over, you can see the RAM door, which has slight paint scuffing. But other than that, this is in really good condition. This was a business laptop, so clearly it was not abused as some laptops I've seen. Opening the laptop, you'll see the standard US layout 128 key American keyboard with the little touch point mouse nub thing, which is in perfect condition again. Slight roughage, but I think it's already supposed to be textured originally. Powering on the unit, it will have to go through the power on self-test, or post. After doing that, it will beep one time, alerting you that the date and time is not set. F1 to continue, F2 for setup. Invalid setup. Please run setup. Invalid information. Time and day not set, F1 key to continue, F2 to run the setup utility. This has no BIOS battery. Let's go and do normal. And this has a maximum screen resolution of 1600 by like 900 or something. Insanely high for 98 onward. And it can play most games at either 800 by 600 or 1024 resolution. The graphics chip can actually display higher than 1600, but the panel only goes up to 1024 by 768. This laptop was last used somewhere around October 10th, 2001 to September 2001. I'm guessing October because that's the copyright date on the virus signatures on this computer. I did clean up some programs from the startup. There was a pretty cool Matrix. There's a pretty cool Matrix-style keyboard. Screensaver, that is, Matrix-style screensaver that was installed, and I cannot seem to figure out how to re-enable that. This was used in the medical field, so there were, past tense because I deleted them, there were some medical files on this. Mostly it was a training laptop for those in the medical field because it had training software talking about CT scan and MRI. Besides that, it had some sort of network interface software that connected it to a network hard drive, which was obviously not accessible because I am neither on their network domain nor is this hooked up to the internet anymore. An interesting thing about this laptop is that at any time the operating system is running, and if it is the original hard drive, there's a special section on the hard drive that if you hit a combination of function keys, you can go directly into the BIOS from Windows. And as long as you don't modify anything, you can back directly out into Windows. I believe UXW Bill has or had a laptop similar to this. The exact specifications for this, going through DirectX Dialog, or DX DIAG, also known as DirectX Diagnostics, will be revealed as a 500 MHz Pentium 3, ATI Rage brand 8MB video card, 12GB hard drive, Western IBM, and 256 MB of RAM. It's running Windows 98 Build 4.1 2nd Edition. The language is English. It has DirectX 8, and the sound does work in MS-DOS mode. I've yet to see if CD-ROM drivers were installed for the MS-DOS based mode, but I can always go and check. Upon startup, the system is always a little bit slow. Not exactly sure why. Could possibly be because of the McAfee antivirus. Some call it McAfee. It's actually pronounced McAfee. After this point, I may have to disable it because this will never see any likely possibility of a virus, and it's just taking up system resources. The programs we have installed, because I thinned the herd, would be going through Control Panel and a better idea of what we have. We have Snagit Studio. We have Microsoft Office 1997. We have Outlook 2000. And we have PowerPoint something. We have Adobe Acrobat 4.0. The ATI Display Manager driver. We have Blood 2 installed by yours truly, which is surprisingly plays it quite well on low settings at 1024 by 768, or high settings 800 by 600, or high settings / ultra, everything enabled on 600 by 400, or 640 by 480. Yeah, 640 by 480. Then we have the Creative Digital Audio Center by Music Match. They had some sort of device called the Creative Nomad, which I'm trying to remember if that's some sort of handheld. The Dell Docking Station installation software for Windows 9X. The Dell DVD to Go decoder. The DivX Codec 3.1 Alpha. Doom 2 for Windows 95, which I installed. Gold Card Global, which was the PCMCIA card, which I showed you. Lotus Notes again. McAfee Virus Scanner. Microsoft Office 97 Professional Edition. Outlook 2000. Internet Explorer. Microsoft Outlook Internet Mail Enhanced Patch. Microsoft Project 98. Web Publishing 1.6. Quake 2 installed by yours truly. QuickTime for Windows 32-bit. Real Player G2. Snagit version 5. PrintShop Deluxe 3. Visio Professional, and WinZip. The version of WinZip is yet to be determined, though we can figure that out right now on camera. Going over to Programs and clicking on WinZip if the system will want to cooperate. It is WinZip 6.3 32-bit. As for hardware, as I was saying earlier, this seems to be able to play 90% of the DOS games that I wanted to play. For more demanding MS-DOS games and early Windows games, I'd most likely choose to use my Gateway 2000 custom build box, which features a 500 MHz Pentium 3, 512 megabytes of RAM, and the 16 megabyte NVIDIA Rivia TNT 2. But for on-the-go portability and gaming, this laptop certainly does everything I need it to do. I don't know exactly what it is, but something about this and that goo over there will do nothing but annoy me until I can find some way to remove it. I'll probably just take some isopropyl alcohol and clean it off. Going back to the system, and as I was saying, is that what it does is more than enough for my purposes. And anything it lacks in performance, it makes up in portability. Most of the games that I would be playing on it would be strictly 2D or 2.5D, as coined by the people, I don't know if they worked on Duke Nukem 3D or just, it was just how people described it, but Duke Nukem 3D, the engine wasn't actually 3D as some people claimed. It was 2.5D because it used some sort of vector angling and stuff. And the build engine was not exactly 3D. But for playing Doom, Ultimate Doom, Doom 2, by the way, Ultimate Doom is just Doom with the added episodes, and playing Rise of the Triad, Duke Nukem 3D, Heretic, a little bit of Heretic 2, and any other DOS game I can throw at it, Putt Putt, Little Critter, Red Alert. I mean, actually, I was thinking of, and I might as well do that now, was to install, because I recently purchased this, Command and Conquer. We have Command and Conquer Domination Pack, and Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun. I'm not entirely sure if Command and Conquer Domination Pack includes Tiberian Sun, but we'll see. So, it's actually Command and Conquer, the Domination Pack, which, what does it include? Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Counter-Strike, and Aftermath. So, I think I might as well go and grab the Red Alert Command and Conquer Red Alert, which I am rambling on. I don't know why I grabbed EverQuest. Anyway, what do we have here? Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun. Well, we could install a different one. What else do we have to install in here? We have Rainbow Six, that's too much for that one. We have StarCraft. Okay, I think we'll do this one, StarCraft. I actually didn't even remember that I had StarCraft. Sometimes when I go thrifting, I just buy whatever looks interesting, and then whatever. So, you can go and pop this CD in. Version 1.0 5B. Here we are. Install StarCraft. And just for the heck of it, let's see the view preview. So this is Blizzard Interactive, or Blizzard Entertainment, whatever they wanted to be called at this time.
Since I left the town of Tristram behind me. Since then, I've tried to forget the terrors I've held. Twisted nightmares have haunted my every waking moment. There's something dark within me now. I can feel it, driving me towards the east, assuring me that my salvation lies within the ruins of ancient kingdoms.
This is even for StarCraft. Sounds like Diablo.
To hinder my journey. And as I pass through the first gate, I know that the better part of my soul will remain behind. Forever.
I have a sinking suspicion this is for Diablo, not StarCraft. Oh, okay, Diablo 2. Those are the two games that I actually want to find, Diablo and Diablo 2. So if anyone has, like, a copy they want to donate me, that would be really awesome. Big thing that you never really read, but you agree. And all their servers are shut down, so I'm gonna guess, I'm just gonna put in my name, and I hope that it works. If this requires online activation, then we're sunk. Okay, so let's just go with that, C/program files, and it is installing StarCraft. Copying over the files. Copying over more files. Even more files. And the time is wrong on this computer. So I probably will have to fix that. Not probably, I will. Because it claims it is 12:17 a.m. when it is not. Do you have an active connection to the internet? No, I don't. So let's just click play StarCraft. Just because. We've already seen that.
I can't see a thing, Jim. Well, hold on. I swear, there's always some damn thing. Wait, got it. Ah, hell, this thing ain't gonna hold. Shut up. Damn, you're ugly. You girl, strapped in nice and tight now. Tighter than your mama leg. Yeah, that's a good one, mate.
I think I've actually played a little bit of this before. Basically, you just go through, and it's a real-time strategy game. Those that are unaware, you basically just, it's a turn-based game. Well, okay, well, not exactly, because it's real time. So basically, you just move your people around. You select who you want to move, and you can tell them to move over there. I mean, if you want to see a Let's Play, I could do that, but this is just basically going over what, installing it for why not. So we're gonna exit out of this, and the mission, exit the program. Yes, we want to exit, and then putting it back in its case. What else can we show off? I wasn't really able to work on it or use it until I got a power cable. I had one of the generic all-in-ones, but I didn't have this guy. I found this part for like $4 at a thrift shop the day after I bought this. I know, really good luck, because it has the weird proprietary connector, this guy here, but it did not come with this part. So I went by a local electronics store and grabbed that part, plugged it in. Of course I knew it was going to work because it was the right part. So I only have like $12 into this system, and it is in really good condition, and I've seen these go for like $17, $30, $40. I mean, yeah, I don't have a case for it, but I'm not really going to be lugging it around. So then, I mean, we could play some Doom. Doom 95. Currently we have Doom 2 installed. So, I mean, one thing about this is and yes, okay, so I changed it to Wasted Keys. This is that the sound seems a little bit off, like the music. So I don't know what type of synth they're using, or the chip is using. but I don't know. I mean, the sound effects sound okay. It's the music that's off and weird. Options, sound, going over here opens up a secret, which you have armor and health. Doesn't actually count as a secret, I believe. Maybe it does. You have ammo for that. Get the health bonus. And I died. Well, this is coming up on 40 minutes, and if any of you survived listening to me ramble on for 40 some odd minutes, then congratulations. If you've stopped watching before then you haven't gotten to this part, so you wouldn't be hearing this part, so this is pointless if you're not listening to it. So, this has been Zesty Panda with another video. If you like it, thumbs it up. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, leave suggestions. I mean, it's not like I'm going to run out of things to do, but giving me ideas would be kind of nice. And I think this is going to be like my 124th video or something. So, that's sort of interesting. What else? Just that, let's just turn this off. Just that I really, for some reason, have this untangible like for this specific laptop. Maybe it's the way it's built. Maybe it's because it's so nice. Maybe it's because it's running Windows 98. Maybe because it's the original install. Maybe because of the hardware. I don't know. Maybe because it's an active matrix and not passive matrix. But, the screen that is. But something about it just is nice.